Good afternoon, everybody. This is Fago Franklin III with Newsstitched Media. Today, I am joined by Donovan McNabb as well as Ramon Robinson. We're going to actually add him back when it's time. He had actually kind of exited out. So while we're doing that, first and foremost, how you doing today, Mr. McNabb?
I'm doing outstanding. How are you?
I can't complain. Can't complain.
There you go.
Before we get into your journey into the NFL as well as what you're working on right now with the camp, can you give my viewers some words of encouragement for today?
Well, I mean, continue to keep your head high, stay positive. First of all, stay safe throughout this whole pandemic. But more importantly, if you can reach a helping hand out to someone next to you and better their life or their situation, that means you're taking another step toward positivity. And if you're confident in yourself and you believe in yourself, then spread the love for others to be able to accomplish great things in their lifetime.
Man, thank you for those words of encouragement. So how have y'all both adapted to the pandemic?
Well, as far as me is concerned, you're just trying to stay safe as far as spacing is concerned. Make sure you limit the people that you're around. There will be no large groups or just all small group of family. In a regard in which we've been training, there has been social distancing and a lot of teaching going on. And as far as the kids are concerned, I'm happy that they have continued school, if it's virtual or if it's in class, and they're preparing themselves to be safe as well, and sports as well. So that's kind of my method and my path so far of how I've handled it. And, God willing, it's worked out well.
And Coach Robinson keeps exiting in and out. So, yeah, Coach, did you hear anything? Okay.
It kept going in and out sound like Bron's computer up.
So how have you adapted to the pandemic?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
McNabb, can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah, it's computerized. When you start talking, it cuts off.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it's a little bit of lapse. Our signal is in and out. It's a little bit janky out here, so I apologize for that.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So how have you adapted to the pandemic?
Man, I can't hear you.
All right, McNabb, we're gonna roll with it.
Okay.
What inspired y'all to start the QB legacy?
It was a creation that Ramon came up with, and we've kind of talked amongst ourselves as well as the rest of our board members and also a lot of our coaches across the country of just ways of trying to improve the training method for these young kids, as well as some of these adults, and trying to prepare them for what they will be faced with going forward. Now, we can go from a technical standpoint and try to work on fundamentals and things of that nature, but what we try to present to these kids is life lessons and how to be leaders, become CEOs, when they step out on the field, to be in command and confident and know exactly what they're supposed to do and where everybody else is supposed to be. And all in all, go out and have fun. And so while we're teaching these kids about the fundamentals of the game and preparing them out on the field, we're also doing it to prepare them in the classroom as well as preparing them for life.
Well, how does it make you feel that you can inspire the youth as well as other individuals to overcome obstacles in their lives, as well as just teaching them life lessons through football?
I think all of us have been presented on this world to do a lot of different things. One, I've always felt like my calling was giving back to the youth and preparing them for what I've been faced with and things that they'll be faced with going forward. And I think the same goes for a lot of the guys that are in our group. A lot of the coaches have been through the trials and tribulations of either playing NFL ball, if it's a CFL ball, or if it's arena league, the ups and downs of politics when it comes to playing in high school or possibly college, and it goes on to working a 9 to 5. So you always have to build a strong work ethic and be prepared for any and everything, because I always believe that having a plan B and a plan C, you'll never get hit with something out of the ordinary.
In your perspective, what makes Tom Brady as well as Patrick Mahomes a great quarterback?
Well, first and foremost, it starts from upstairs. If you believe it up here, and you're truly confident in what it is that you're doing and surrounding yourself with guys that will prepare you. And then practice makes perfect. Practice being great. Practice preparing to be great. Practice being a great person, a great brother, a great son, a great father, a great husband. And things will translate. Now, we all go through some walls where, the adversity hits it, but it's all on how you overcome that adversity. And I think that's what you've seen over 20 years for Tom Brady. Not everything was peaches and cream. I beat Tom Brady in college, and he beat me in the Super Bowl. But one thing that he learned in college was the fact that, not everything is going to be given to you. You had to work. And for Tom, remember, he wasn't a first-round pick or a second-round pick. Tom was a sixth, seventh-round pick who had to work his way in. And so for Patrick Mahomes, it's a little bit different because he was a first-round pick. But you got to understand about Patrick. Patrick wasn't recruited by everybody coming out of Texas. Texas Tech took a shot at him. And, Cliff Kingsbury was able to build something special over there with Texas Tech, where we've seen flashes of greatness. But getting with Andy Reid, he was able to open up his game a little more, where we're starting to see possibly greatness just in an early shell of 4 or 5 years, with 2 Super Bowl appearances and 3 straight AFC title appearances. Says a lot about him and his desire to be the best.
And your perspective, how do we implicate more people of color that are head coaches in the NFL?
Well, the thing that we have to always instill in a lot of our individuals, African-American individuals, is that, again, it goes back to your work ethic and passion. First, you have to be goal-oriented. Write your goals down on what you want to accomplish. If you write your goals down, though, that's the path in which you stay on in order to achieve that goal. And once you achieve one goal, then you scratch that off and you go for higher goals. If it's head coach, if it's offensive coordinator, if it's quarterback coach, position coach, or if it's a quality control guy, never settle for anything that you feel is unnecessary. And for me, if you tell me I'm just going to be a backup, I'm going to look at you like you're crazy, because nobody wants to be a backup. Everybody wants to be the starter and the star. So if you come in as a position coach or a quality control guy, your goal should be becoming a head coach in any league that you're coaching in. If it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever it may be, you should strive to be the best in everything that you set out to do. So when you see an Eric Bieniemy, when you see Byron Leftwich, when you see Ray Horton, when you see Todd Bowles, that's a little bit of insight of confidence that if they can do it, I can do it as well.
So tell my viewers a little bit about your event during Super Bowl week.
Well, what we're trying to present in our first annual camp is we're trying to create a platform for a lot of these quarterbacks to have an opportunity to do something different. I know they've been going to a lot of these camps and they've been having them just drop back and throw and things of that nature, but it's all about teaching for what we're going to present. It's teaching. It's not about who's going to be the MVP of the camp. It's about preparing these kids to be able to step in front of any coach or any player or any teammate and be in full command. And not only that, you're doing what you're supposed to do as a leader. If you're doing your job and doing it to an elite level, then you'll start to spread the love where all of a sudden it becomes contagious to others. So we're going to work fundamentals. We're going to work platform. We're going to work play action. We're going to work all of these things that you see in a lot of different camps. But the pizzazz that we bring is we're going to prepare them for what life is going to be presenting for them as the years continue on.
What advice can you give some of these guys that are going to the NFL draft? Of course, we don't have combine this year. So what advice can you give those individuals?
Well, this is when you got to put your nose to the grind. This is when you eliminate all your friends and you eliminate all the distractions on the outside and you focus on your future. This is when you put that extra time in the weight room, put that extra time in doing agilities and speed and things that nature. This is when you put that extra time in the classroom and working with your quarterback coach, if you're a quarterback, or your running back coach or your wide receiver coach. This is also the time where you start to reach out to a lot of guys who either have done it, who have been through that journey, and guys who are coaching guys who are going through that journey. Because I think the more insight that you have that will prepare you going to these combines, sitting in front of these coaches, sitting in front of these scouts, sitting in front of these GMs, and you become now the adult in the room, now that brings a light shining over the top of them that this is the guy that we definitely want in our organization. Because not only from a physical standpoint, he can change our plans for going to the future, but he also, from a physical standpoint, that's what we know we can bring.
Now, I'm a diehard Philly fan, so I'm grateful that you got us to the Super Bowl in '04. Tell me a little bit about that experience. Was you a little bit nervous? How was that experience for you?
Well, you know what? It felt like it was kind of a weighted off my back. I mean, remember we had been the three straight,
Yeah.
NFC
Yes.
titles, and then to go to four. It felt like it was weight off of my back, but also I knew it was a unfinished business because my goal at that time was to go to the White House and meet Barack Obama. So my goal
Mhm.
wasn't just to be in the game. My goal was to win the game. And so, again, like I just told you, I put my nose to the grind and I continue to talk to guys who have played in the game, talk to guys who have been through the conference championships, and just try to get a little bit of insight of what it is that I will be expecting going into this game. Now, it's easy to sit on the side or sit on the couch and watch the game and tell you what you're supposed to do. But in that
Mhm.
short time, you got to react and make things happen at that time. And we were close and we had an opportunity to win that game. Unfortunately, we didn't. But there were life lessons that we all learned in that particular game and that journey to get there.
How has football molded you into the individual that you are today? Because you're doing a lot of great things in the Tampa Bay community.
Well, you know what? It's all across the world. It's not so much just in Tampa. Tampa, we're gonna put our finger on Tampa and make sure when we
Hmm.
leave there, they're gonna remember the quarterback legacy. But what I like to do and what all of us have come together and we've kind of talked about kind of this our mentality throughout this whole thing is when we leave cities, we want those cities to reach back because they just left with something special. They left with maybe some words that they'll always remember. They maybe have left with some teaching that they just don't get at the high schools anywhere, or they kind of took away somebody to be able to spend some time with these kids individually and get to know them as a person instead of the football player. And those are the things that we'll present to a lot of these kids, and not only the kids, but also to the families, because I think that's very important because it all starts at home. It starts at home where the parents are the ones who are need to be demanding on these kids to be well prepared and to go out if it's in the classroom, if it's out with their friends, if it's with family members or the football field, they need to be held at a higher standard. So they have to work at that level.
Yes.
What advice can you give people, not just people, but athletes about overcoming obstacles as well as not getting caught up in the perception life of social media?
Well, I mean, we are in
You got it.
today's game where everybody's looking to the likes. Everybody wants the likes. Everybody wants the
Mhm.
comments on Twitter. Everybody wants to be seen and retweeted. The whole thing about where life is right now is it's about what are you doing now to help yourself and what are you doing to open up avenues and pathways for others. And so I can care less about the likes. I can care less about if you comment on it because one thing my parents always told me, if they comment on anything that you present, then that means they're thinking about you, that they've seen you.
Mhm.
So now you've been seen. So these kids need to understand the work that you put forth. It doesn't matter how you want to promote yourself. They will find you. They will find you. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, they will find you. So focus on your job and doing your job at an elite level, and everything should take care of itself.
What does it mean to you that you actually got to see a black man as president in the White House? Now we have Kamala Harris as a VP in the White House. What does that mean to you as a person of color?
Well, I mean, it was a lot more than just the African American as a president. Barack Obama was from Chicago, just like I am.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up a couple blocks away from my high school, so he got a chance to watch me play in high school. We discussed that many a times. He watched me obviously in Philadelphia, which I mean brought a smile to my face. I was happy the things that he was able to do back for people in Chicago and people just like me. And now what you're seeing is you're seeing possibly a change, and you're seeing the change of the guards of where we were for 4 years to where we're going for 4 to possibly 8 years. So I'm happy for Harris. I'm happy for Biden. I'm excited to see where we're going to go in these next 4 years. I think we've all were presented with shocks just in the last couple months of just the way reactions were being seen and comments were being made. But now it's time to settle in and find out what direction we're going in. And I think we're going in a positive direction.
What does it mean to you to have a great support system like, Coach Robinson and, BJ Hall and a couple other individuals that gravitated towards your vision?
Well, I mean, again, this is more of all of us coming together. So it's not just my vision, and I want everybody to know that great minds think alike. Now, the thing that we presented to each other is every angle in which we all kind of present to our clients, and then we all brought it together. And I think we're all grown men. We all go through ups and downs, and some stuff we agree with, some stuff we disagree with. But the thing about it is we all come together as men to be able to accomplish that one goal. And that one goal is to try to touch these lives, a lot of these young kids. And we remember some adults as well, to try to better them for their future.
My last question is for both of y'all. If Coach Robinson can actually hear, who are y'all going for the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the home team. Home team is KC. Just because Patrick Mahomes' trainer is a part of QB legacy, so I'm gonna go with the home team. I know Brady's the GOAT, but I'm going with the guy that's setting the legacy. He's setting the tone for his legacy right now in regards to his play and how early he's sprouting. You got what I'm saying? And I think that he's doing great things. I think he's going to continue. Like you say, he's playing with Coach Reed, and McNabb is very familiar with that. And, I think Coach Reed is solidly one of the best guys when it comes to quarterback development. You know what I'm saying? And just how he handles the guys. You know what I'm saying? And I've just seen that transition. I never played with him, played for him, but I saw it all from afar. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the growth with Patrick Mahomes is he's growing every year. And that's what you want to see from a quarterback is growth. And I feel like he's on that same path of where Brady is now. And Brady is continuing his legacy. He's building on top of his legacy. Now I may be going out on a limb because he is the GOAT, as they say, with championships, but I'm going to go with the young buck. And, that's what I see. I think it's going to be a mid-range game, 30, 35, 28, somewhere around in there.
Well, I ain't going to make no predictions.
What about you, McNabb?
I ain't going to make no predictions, but I will say this. I'm going to go along with Ramon. And the thing that I have ties with is I have ties with Andy, obviously, of drafting me in 99. Spending over a decade and the success that we've had over a decade in Philadelphia. And not only just on the playing field, but we built a friendship that we have to this day. Where after the championship game, I reached out to him and we talked for a little bit. We talked a little bit before their first playoff game. One of my former teammates is Eric Bieniemy, so I'm excited for him. And I'll say it on air. I'm pissed off that he didn't get a head coaching job yet. Which bothers me.
Same here.
I have another teammate in Greg Lewis, who's a wide receiver coach out there in Kansas City. Our training staff was the same training staff that we had pretty much in Philadelphia. So I'm riding with the red and white. Although I won't wear any red and white because I'm still green and silver.
Hey, we bleed that green. We bleed that green, man.
I'm green. I'm green and silver. So I'm happy for Patrick too, because I think one thing that people overlook about Patrick is an African American who understands his blackness. He spoke out early on before the season of the trials and tribulations that we are a part of and witnessed and things that we're faced with. But not only that, but he's become a spokesman, not just for us as African Americans, but he also became a spokesman and the face of the NFL. And he's carrying himself the right way. Now, as far as his hair is concerned, I mean, me and Ramon, we wish we had half of it. But but you know what? We're just happy that he's having fun out there. He's opening up doors for kids that are on the high school level, Pop Warner level, and kids that are young on the collegiate level, that they have a chance as well.
Hey, Coach Robinson, I got a quick question for you too. I know you used to coach Deshaun Watson. What does it mean to you to see the improvement that he's becoming an elite top quarterback in the NFL right now?
To be honest, I'm not surprised. I say this all the time, and I'm not one that is out here putting Deshaun on here. Hey, I trained him. I trained him. Only certain people know that. They know the true facts of digging deep. You know what I'm saying? McNabb said it earlier. I'm not looking for the likes of posting. I can easily post videos and be like, let me see how many likes I can get. But far as when it comes to his true talent, I respect who he is and respect who he's with in regards to his development. But Deshaun is one of those kids, well, young man now, that when I first met him, he was a natural. You got what I'm saying? He was a natural. He was smooth about things and
Did we lose Mo?
Did we lose?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Mo,
yeah.
you on the phone over there, man?
Nah, it ain't me, man.
That got a crack phone over there.
I figured out what it is when everybody started talking at the same time, that's when it sounds like computer love. You know what I mean? Nah, that ain't it. But I was saying is with the development of Deshaun, I saw it early on, and he was one of those guys where guys can't take a lot of credit for his development because he was just a natural with things. You know, he had a natural stroke, he had natural delivery, and I call him the new age Charlie Ward because he was smooth like Charlie. You got what I'm saying? I saw that early on, and he was always in command. You never see him rattled, just like you never saw Charlie rattled. If people go back and do the history of the game, and just his style of play, he has his own style of play. Like I said before, in this day and age. But who I compared him to early on was Charlie Ward, just because of his command and just being in control. And like I said, he was just a natural. And that's just like, I can't say, hey, I helped Deshaun with this and that. No, the kid is just doing what he's doing. And McNabb understand what I mean by he was a natural thrower. Some guys you don't have to teach a lot of things to. You know what I'm saying? I have a baseball background. You know what I'm saying? I played every sport. McNabb did the same, and just some things are just natural. They just naturally come to you, and the game just naturally comes to him. And the way he's performing now is the same way he performed in college. You know, so now, yeah, he's putting up the big numbers. He did that early on in his career at Clemson. So the next stop for him is now let's put it all together. You know, forget the numbers. Let's make numbers as in wins and losses. You got what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's his next step. You know, forget the records. Let's get people like a winner. Anybody can be a statistics guy. You got what I'm saying? Anybody can put the stats up, but can you win the big ones? Can you put the W's up on a consistent basis? So now, once he puts it all together, I think that you got another guy that's going to be able to continue and grow his own legacy as well. It's not just a guy that can put up numbers on the professional level, but also win the big games and secure that bag and hold up that championship.
Amen to that. Yes, sir. Now, one more last question for both of y'all, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Honestly, do you think you should be in the Hall of Fame? There have been a lot of conversation with some of the sources that I have, and we have this debate. You know, if Tony Romo gets in, you should get into the Hall of Fame. Do you honestly think you should be a Hall of Famer?
The fact that you even put Tony Romo and my name together bothers me. But that's just me. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, you talk about 9 playoff wins, 5 NFC Championship appearances, and a Super Bowl to somebody that's got 2 playoff wins. I mean, and I'll just go back to what Ramon talked about. The thing that separates a lot of people, it's not about the numbers that you put in the regular season, but how many playoff games have you won? How many conference championships have you played in? How many Super Bowls have you played in? What's your winning percentage? I think that's the most important thing that people really need to focus on. You can throw for miles and miles and miles of yards, because you got to remember, a person who put up a lot of yards that didn't get a lot of love, that was Warren Moon. Warren Moon threw for a lot of yards and played and won championships in the Canadian League, then came to the NFL and continuously put up numbers. But they didn't want to put him in the Hall of Fame when they did, but they had to. They had to, because you can't overlook him. And then you got Dan Marino sitting over here with a lot of yards, and he played in a time where they were slinging the ball around a little bit, and he won his first year, but it wasn't like the same all the way through. So Dan, I love Dan. I love Warren. I love guys who played this game for over a decade or more, because that shows just kind of their work ethic and passion and what this game has meant to them. I said, but do I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. But is that my vote? No, it's not. Will it change my life? I mean, if I'd have won a Super Bowl, we wouldn't have this. We had this question and answer right here. But if I didn't, I didn't. So my life doesn't change. I got 4 kids. I'm coaching. I'm teaching. I'm working in the community. Life is good for me. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I think I'm okay.
Amen. Thank you for that transparency answer. Before I let y'all go, where can we find your social media handles for the QB legacy?
Mo, you got it? We're on QB Legacy on Instagram.
Yeah, it's the QB Legacy. Yeah,
it's the
same Legacy QB on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you got that with Ramon breaking up.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, we
Tell
got
him stop using that crap phone, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Nah, that's you over there breaking up. No, sir, that ain't me. I believe that's
they can definitely find us on Instagram.
Over there in Arizona, man.
Go ahead, Mr. McNabb. What you were saying?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. We're also on Twitter. We are definitely on top of social media and spreading the awareness of what we're doing. There will be more camps to come, so make sure that everybody stays in tune. If we're coming into your location, we're locking down sites and making sure that these kids understand what they're coming to get. We have great apparel that they'll be able to walk away from, as well as great teaching from a lot of different coaches all across the country. So it's going to be I look forward to it, man. This is the first annual, and from then on, we just got rocking it.
Amen. Thank you for joining me, guys. As everybody knows, this is Fago Franklin III. Y'all can follow me on Super Journalist 87 on my Instagram. Y'all can follow me on my Facebook, which is Fago Franklin III. Y'all can click that search engine on Google and put Fago Franklin III, and it will show you all the exclusive content that I have done with your favorite celebrities, sports media personalities, as well as celebrities. Thank y'all again for joining me, and definitely have a blessed one, fellas.
Thank you, man.
Hey, man,
you can find me on 5 Sports Performance too, Instagram, Donovan McNabb on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, now y'all have a blessed one.
R17.
All right, now.
Instagram. Yep.
Got
there
you.
you go.
All right.